Have you ever looked at a beautifully manicured lawn and thought, oh, I could totally do that this weekend? Well, I've got news for you. What looks like a simple gardening project is actually high-stakes environmental engineering. Today, in this explainer, we're diving into the hidden costs and the structural realities of landscape design, and more importantly, how you can avoid the biggest, most expensive mistakes that homeowners make.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. How much does impulsive landscape design actually cost? It's so easy to assume landscaping is just about planting pretty flowers and making things look nice, right? We head to the garden center, we load up the trunk with vibrant hydrangeas, or maybe a cute little sapling, completely unaware of the complex ecosystem we're about to disrupt. But what happens when we act on that impulse instead of having a solid strategy?
Well, the answer might shock you. It costs thousands of dollars, literally thousands. Piecemeal, impulsive decisions without a strategy will quickly and relentlessly drain your budget. When you start digging and planting without understanding the environmental engineering happening right there beneath the soil, you can create devastating financial consequences. Think about it. You might spend $200 on a beautiful tree today, only to spend $10,000 5 years from now repairing the cracked foundation it caused.
To help you avoid that, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The illusion of a beautiful garden. 2. Water, the hidden enemy of foundations. 3. Root danger and the 30-foot rule. 4. Secrets of a successful master plan. And 5. Main design mistakes.
All right, let's jump straight into number 1, the illusion of a beautiful garden.
The absolute most fundamental error homeowners make is tackling their yards one disconnected piece at a time. It's like you build a patio one year, add a walkway the next, and then plant a tree a few years after that. This fragmented approach invariably leads to disconnected spaces, chaotic aesthetics, and severe utility conflicts. Suddenly, your sprinkler lines are trapped under concrete, or your brand new shade tree is blocking all the afternoon sun from your vegetable garden. A holistic master plan, on the other hand, forces you to integrate your home's architecture with the natural environment. It requires us to look at the property as one big picture, considering sunlight, traffic flow, and future growth way before we even pick up a shovel.
Moving on to part 2, water, the hidden enemy of foundations.
You might not know this, but improper water management is actually the leading cause of foundation failure in American homes. When your patios or garden beds slope toward the house, you are basically inviting a total disaster. Rainwater and irrigation runoff pool right against the concrete, leading to foundation cracks, flooded basements, and suffocated plants dying from root rot in that waterlogged soil. Conversely, sloping the grade away from the house protects the foundation entirely. It channels moisture safely into the yard, ensuring your expensive plants get the healthy oxygenation they need to survive, all while keeping your basement bone dry. Honestly, even a slope as subtle as 1 inch of drop for every foot of distance can literally save your home.
The science behind this destruction comes down to something called hydrostatic pressure. When water pools against your home because of bad grading, it doesn't just sit there. It exerts this immense active force against your foundation walls. Soil becomes incredibly heavy when it's saturated, pushing inward with thousands of pounds of pressure. So poor drainage doesn't just drown the expensive plants in your garden beds, it literally pushes your house apart from the outside in, causing bowing walls and severe structural compromise over time. It's wild.
Which brings us perfectly to part 3, root danger and the 30-foot rule. Now, there is this widespread, almost universal misconception about how trees grow underground. It's often called the carrot versus the pancake myth. We naturally think a tree's root system mirrors its above-ground canopy, right? Growing straight down deep into the earth like a giant carrot. But in reality, a tree's root system spreads wide and shallow, much more like a pancake. They grow outward laterally, desperately searching for the top layers of soil where oxygen and moisture are the most abundant.
And get this, here is a truly shocking statistic. Over 90% of a tree's roots are located in just the upper 24 inches of the soil. Because they're trapped so close to the surface, roots can easily spread 2 to 5 times the width of the tree's canopy. That means a seemingly harmless tree planted just 10 feet from a house will quickly send thick, woody roots 30 feet or more outward, right towards your home. They are incredibly persistent, just creeping directly beneath the manicured grass you walk on every single day.
And that is exactly why we have the crucial 30-foot rule. Those shallow roots possess immense hydraulic pressure. If planted too close, they will relentlessly buckle driveways, crack sidewalks,
infiltrate septic systems and severely compromise foundations. Take aggressive species like willows, for example. They will actively sense the moisture inside your underground sewer lines and crush the pipes just to get to the water inside. So the golden rule you absolutely must follow as a beginner is to plant average trees 15 to 20 feet away from structures. But for those aggressive species, like willows or silver maples, they need to be planted at least 30 feet away to keep your property entirely safe.
Okay, let's get into the solutions. Part 4. Secrets of a Successful Master Plan. Creating a foolproof master plan before you start is your absolute greatest financial protection. If you're a beginner, here are the 4 essential steps you need to take. First, evaluate the property holistically. You need to look at the big picture of your architecture, tracking where the sun hits at different times of day and where natural wind tunnels form. Second, establish proper drainage. As we learned, you absolutely must map out where water naturally flows to avoid that destructive hydrostatic pressure. Third, select climate-appropriate materials. A beautiful stone pathway in one state might completely shatter in another, so choose elements proven to survive your specific local weather patterns. And fourth, match the design to your lifestyle. Don't build an elaborate outdoor kitchen if you realistically prefer ordering takeout inside. Planning these steps comprehensively is how you safeguard your budget. Let's look a little closer at material failures, because local geography strictly dictates material performance. For instance, pouring a continuous concrete slab in an area with severe freeze-thaw cycles, that will almost guarantee cracking as the ground expands and contracts all winter. Heavy clay soils, which expand massively when wet, will easily cause interlocking pavers to heave right out of the ground. And untreated wood will rot so fast in humid, wet climates, turning a gorgeous pergola into a total safety hazard in just a few seasons. One single wrong choice in materials can completely ruin an otherwise perfect design.
Finally, Part 5. Main design mistakes.
A professional designer's absolute best-kept secret for smaller urban yards is simplicity. Many beginners fall right into the trap of overdesigning. They head to the nursery, buy one of every single plant they think is pretty, and just cram a dozen different plant varieties and clashing hardscape materials into a tiny space. But that just creates visual noise and chaos, making the yard feel cramped and disorganized. Instead, if you limit your plant palette to just 3 or 4 carefully chosen varieties and repeat those same plants and materials throughout the space, it actually makes the yard feel much larger. It creates a really sophisticated, expansive, and cohesive vibe. Another huge design mistake is completely ignoring maintenance requirements. A landscape has to match your everyday life. When you overdesign with high-maintenance features, like a delicate koi pond or incredibly intricate perennial beds that need constant upkeep, they often turn into neglected eyesores the minute your free time runs short. You have to be honest with yourself about how much time you actually have to maintain the environment you're engineering. Weekends shouldn't be totally consumed by yard work unless you truly, deeply love it. Your outdoor space should be a place of relaxation, not a second full-time job.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to think about. Who is really in control of your property? You or nature? Because if you act on impulse, if you ignore drainage, or if you plant an aggressive tree just 10 feet from your home, nature will always win, and it will cost you thousands. Comprehensive planning is your absolute best protection against catastrophic landscaping failures. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and remember, always plan before you plant.